And she lucky, she's a star. Na 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 na. Hey everyone, welcome to Sway Bay and Politics or Commentary or whatever. This is my second video. Other than that, I want to talk a little bit about the Free Britney movement. So the Free Britney movement was something that needed to happen, right? Britney Spears was locked away for years, right? And her parents were in control over her for the most part. She was not able to even go to a therapist without her parents' approval or even a doctor. And then to me, that seems ridiculous. Britney Spears is a very unique, interesting case, but not so unique that it doesn't happen every day. You know, we have our Lindsay Lohans, we have, our Paris Hiltons and etc. And all those young women who were there during the late 1990s to early 2000s were all affected mentally by the pressure that press, paparazzi, fans put on them. And so let's talk about it. So I want to talk about Jamie Lynn Spears, right? And I know this is a very unpopular opinion about Jamie, but when you look at a lot of the press reports that are out there, such as this one.
Do you worry that by speaking your truth, that it will harm your relationships?
Well, nobody ever really considered me, but I think that everyone is allowed to say their truth.
Jamie Lynn Spears describes growing up in the chaotic Spears family, the relentless pressure of chasing stardom taking its toll.
We begin to realize that maybe Jamie Lynn Spears was also a victim as well. And I say that because Jamie Lynn Spears is 10 years younger than Britney Spears. She was a child when most of this happened. She was a kid. When Britney Spears made a post recently that stated that she should have smacked Jamie Lynn Spears as well as her mom during that time, that seemed very problematic to me because Jamie Lynn Spears was a child. Jamie Lynn Spears can only do what her parents allowed. When Britney Spears said she was upset that Jamie Lynn Spears got a show on her name, again, Jamie Lynn Spears was a child. She couldn't have signed those papers without her parents. Now, I agree. Her parents are low-down parents. They use and they abuse their children. But I don't think Britney was the only one that was abused. I think both of the Spears sisters have reported simultaneously that one sister got attention and then the other didn't. When Britney was having her breakdowns, Jamie Lynn didn't get the support she needed while being pregnant at 16. When Britney Spears broke up with Justin Timberlake, she saw Jamie being comforted and able to be living in a very childlike state, which Britney didn't have that childhood. Some people don't know this, but Britney Spears started off as a child actor on Disney Channel. And sooner than later, she became a mega star as time went on. Along with Justin Timberlake, they used to work on the same show. But it makes you wonder the amount of pressure it is for young children to be in this. How responsible is Jamie Lynn Spears now for a lot of the things that has happened to Britney? It makes me question, is Jamie Lynn Spears only acting from what she learned from her parents? Even if Britney's money has taken care of the entire family, is Jamie Lynn just only acting in the way she knows how? And I'm not saying this right. I'm not here to play who's right or who's wrong. But I think people should stop and consider the fact that Britney Spears and Jamie Lynn Spears were both, abused by their parents. They were both taken advantage of by their parents. I remember being a child and Zoe 101 coming out. I remember people saying, Jamie Lynn Spears is going to be the next Britney Spears. And everyone was like, yes, she's going to replace Britney. She's going to replace Britney, right? And I remember people saying it, and it was like all in my school, and like it was on the news and stuff like that. And then people really thought that Jamie Lynn Spears was supposed to, be the next Britney Spears, right? And I can only imagine the pressure that is on Jamie, but also the mental health and concern that Britney must have had, right? But we can't overlook that the parents love mooching off their kids. Britney Spears' parents grew up very poor. They were a poor Louisiana family. And then all of a sudden, Britney got famous. Britney started making money from Disney. Britney became one of the world's biggest pop stars. And then they started having money coming in. And they made Britney work so much in this industry. Britney would probably even talk about back then that she didn't even have time to herself. She didn't have a regular life. You know, it's very detrimental. It's very problematic, right? And let's not even talk about how they sexualized her at a very young age. Britney Spears was doing things on camera that no 16-year-old should be doing. And it was viewed for all of America to see. But when Jamie Lynn Spears, just to jump ahead a little bit, got pregnant because of the abuse she was experiencing at home, Jamie Lynn Spears ran away several times. When she was found, her parents sent her away to a cabin so that she can have her baby. They sent her away because they couldn't deal with her. And I can only imagine and empathize with Jamie Lynn Spears for even the things she says.
And no matter what, I'm always gonna look at her as like my big sister. Doesn't matter how old I am.
I can empathize with the fact that her mother and her father, her mother being a drug addict addicted to pain pills, her father being very controlling. Jamie Lynn Spears was very much neglected by her family. And so much so that both Spears children were neglected by their families. And the only reason why they cared about Britney, because Britney was making money. And that Britney's money was paying for their entire lifestyle. They did not care about Britney Spears. They didn't care about Jamie Lynn Spears. There's no need for us to be watching on media and putting them two against each other. Nor is it responsible to look at Britney's statements without empathizing with both parties. I understand Jamie Lynn Spears have done things that were fucked up, right? And we can't lie about that. But I also think that Jamie Lynn Spears and Britney Spears are emotionally and mentally stunted from the overbearingness of their parent and it acting out their roles in their household. Jamie Lynn Spears was the younger sister. She was the person that was overlooked. She just was not Britney in the household. And Britney Spears were Britney in the household, Britney Spears in the household, which was damaging to both of them. Britney wasn't Britney Jean Spears. Britney wasn't who she wanted to be in her household, right? She wasn't a person to her parents. She was a cash cow. Jamie Lynn wasn't a person to her parents. She was not Britney, right? And I want people to really understand the impact that can have on a child's psyche. Even Jamie Lynn Spears says Britney is like a mom to her.
Innocent to love your siblings, and especially me, because I loved her like she was my mama, you know?
And I wonder if you miss that innocent love, if you miss your sister.
Like, love for like a mom, you know? You just feel like a mama's love is supposed to be unconditional.
So you know that Britney Spears was raising her while also having a pop career, and Jamie Lynn Spears' parents were just neglecting all of them. And so I say this as in closing, that maybe that we should really question a lot of stuff. I don't think that Jamie Lynn Spears should get as much heat for coming out with a book. It was her experiences too. She was abused too. She was known as not Britney in her household, even though that was not clearly stated by her, but we all know. And that it was jealousy between both sisters on both sides. Britney Spears was jealous because Jamie had a life that she always wanted, which was normalcy. Jamie Spears was jealous because Britney always had her parents' attention. And that household was toxic. And their parents put them against each other because it was beneficial for them. And I think that it's fine that Jamie Spears is coming out with a book. You can decide whether or not you want to buy it or not. It is sad for the things that Britney has went through. And it's also sad for the things that Jamie Lynn has went through. I can only wish them the best in their journey. Because at the end of the day, we'll love, whether you're a fan or not, to see them both do well. This has been Sway Bay and politics or whatever. Peace.